there's a couple things that I want to cover, if you will. I know we were yesterday was supposed to be about cameras, and I'm gonna just go over a couple table of contents today of what we're doing. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do a whole lot of streams, but we're just gonna do some quick recaps on some camera news that we did yesterday, and now and then we're gonna move into lighting, which is the big thing for today. Talk about lighting and the news that has came out from a couple big players. You got ProLight, you got Nanlite, and of course you got Aperture, and then a couple sleepers as well that I don't think a lot of people are really like being aware. So I'm going to cover some of these smaller ones because that's what NAB is also about, is just covering some of these smaller players. And then I want to talk about that whole thing that I started off talking about, which is the game changing. What is potentially game changing with this whole new discussion. So let's go right into it. So the first big news, we're just going to, again, recap on sort of the camera side of things. Blackmagic had the stage, and it doesn't look like there is going to be any new camera. I think we can end this right now. No new camera is coming for, I'll get myself up here. No new camera is coming for Blackmagic Design. At least there's not being any announced at NAB. There may be one coming today, but the rumored and the speculative box camera, it doesn't look to be the case. It doesn't look like that's going to be happening. So instead, what we're doing is we are going to... So instead, they talked a lot more about their cloud service, which we can't knock this out how big that is. And I'll bring that to I'll come back to it at the end, and before, if there's any people here, we'll do streaming discussions. But just how big that still is, that whole cloud service, and just how wonderful Blackmagic has once again been doing it for creators and creative people. The fact that they've built a service where it doesn't kill you to leave it for a certain time because there may not be businesses around. The fact that you can just basically set the service up and then basically send like links and things like that to partners with it, where if you're looking for a colorist, where you're looking for an editor, special visual effects, whatever the works may be, it's all can work with inside DaVinci Resolve. But you guys can link and start doing collaboration work over a cloud service basis. Just how impactful that is, especially with their new products, with their cloud storage, all the different tiers. Like, I know the cloud service one that's like, I think it's like $20,000, or it's quite up there. Like, you got those for those industry where you got a large studio, or like a medium or even large studio that basically does a whole lot of content on a continuous basis and needs a lot of people logged in and linked up, or maybe need to load up to the service at once. You have that. You have the smaller one, which is like around the $3,000 range. That is basically for like a small film team that just like needs to upload and again send stuff to there to basically able to connect and work. And then you got the cloud pod, which is basically the freelancer's utility, where if you're a colorist, if you're an editor, you can basically just take that and basically wherever you are, you can load the stuff up there, and basically it's based on what storage device you already have, which is really, really cool. And that's only for like $350. So I think it's really cool that they give different tiers of people the ability to come into this new system. It's not linked off by people who have the resources and the money for it. And that's something that has always been a theme in the culture, and I think all of us can agree that's what we love about Blackmagic. They may trip and stumble, but they always have the good intentions in mind, and they do the best they can to bring more people into this field. So, again, am I sad to see that there looks to be no new camera options? Yes. However, I'm still excited the fact of what they're doing with their cloud service, and the fact that the cloud service is only $5 a month, where other services they charge you anywhere between 15 to $50 a month, and you get penalized for if you leave a little bit too early. So but I digress. I'm not going to go into that. Some other quick things. So we got to talk about DZO. DZO announces a brand new wide zoom, the 15 to 30 T28, which is, I guess, completes a holy trinity of their Cine zoom. So you got this one, you got the medium wide one, and then you got the tele zoom. And I gotta say, I'm really happy for DZO, because I remember, and this is why NAB is so huge, and this is why NAB is so big. Even there may not be major camera announcements. Things like this is why, because I remember DZO back in 2019. They had no booth. They didn't have like a big thing. It was just a bunch of people that just came around and they actually came up to me because and they had a zoom lens for Micro Four Thirds for cameras like at that time the GH5, but more specifically the Pocket 4K. And to see them as just a couple people who were just running around NAB just trying to get people to see their products. To see them grow to what they're now they're becoming a well-named powerhouse in terms of lenses, in terms of cinema lenses at affordable rates, getting good quality Cine glass at affordable rates, with their zooms as well as their Vespid primes that are giving a little bit more vintage looks to them, and that's what I think is so great, that they're getting it to the more affordable range. And it's funny, so you got that from DZO, and a lot of these is like these Chinese manufacturers. Chinese manufacturers are going to be the big thing, because you have both cameras and lenses. So now on the other side, you got Rokinon Xeen, who, I've had Rokinon Xeen. I think I still have my 85 millimeter Rokinon lens. I had my critiques about Rokinon. But I'm really happy to see that they're really pushing it in photo quality, because now they've got the new Xeen Meisters. So these are like their premium built Cine lenses. They're 8K ready. They have titanium built. They have a titanium built to them, so they're very, very tough, very durable. But the key thing of these are like some of the fastest Cine primes on the market right now, which is really, really cool about that. So you got, so they're at T1.3. So these are some of the fastest primes, Cine primes out there. And then on the other end, we got some monitors. This is one that I came across that I think is very interesting. Again, for people that can get something into a smaller, that started off using more on a bigger production level, that's now been offered to the single content creator, or here, which is the Yolobox Mini. So if you haven't heard of them, it's a company that builds these monitors that also give you the ability to stream, and you can not only stream, you can put in different type of logos, different type of titles. You can custom build titles, and the bigger models you were able to actually plug in multiple cameras, and you can actually do switching from there. And they're actually still quite affordable. I think the Pro version is like $1,500, and then this one is like a little bit under $700, which is the Mini. So if you're one of the people who does streaming, you're a single content creator who does streaming like this, you can get like something like this, where it's a monitor, and it is a recorder, and it's a streaming device. And what's one of the unique features about this company is that they actually allow you to stream to multiple platforms, even the same platforms but different channels simultaneously. So you can have one YouTube channel, and then you can have another YouTube channel, and it will stream to both of those simultaneously. So these are really, really, really cool, interesting monitors. I think, like I said, I think this new one, the YOLO Mini, is about $700, and I think they said it'll come out about Q4. Um, so and that's basically it for like this little presentation thing I wanted to show. But that's not all I wanted to talk about. There was before we get into the lighting. There was a camera that was discussed at NAB. Um, Let me just make sure this is muted. It is. All right. And so there's a new camera um, from a Bosman, from this company called Bosman, and these are broadcast specific cameras actually. And these are 8K ready broadcast style cameras. So um, this is more of the for this is still going to be higher end premiums, but they're 8K, full frame. They do SDI outs. Okay, audio's too low. Let me bump this up. All right. So let me know how this sounds now. Hopefully, it sounds a little bit better. Because I'm showing that I'm getting close to the clipping to like peaking point on the monitor. So hopefully this still sounds good. Otherwise, I need to figure out what YouTube is doing to compress the sound of the audio. But yeah, so they have this big one that they are announcing, but they also have a smaller like Cine for like more cinema and more box style oriented cameras. And so they have this, and all of these are 8K. All of these are full frame. So they have the more box style ones that is super modular that you can hang up. And then they got a basic one, and then they got one that has more in and out, so like 4G SDI in the works. So this is really so this was something of interest, at least in terms of cameras.